Good morning, children. Hope you're all doing good. It's been a long time and I really miss you all, my children. As you're moving to the next grade, you should be clear in the subject's concept well. So, I thought of giving an introduction to a quite interesting topic that is kinematics. You are already familiar with the concepts. Yeah, let's get into the class. What physics is? Physics is actually derived from a Latin word physica, which means natural thing. It is a broader subject which is coming under the category science. It is concerned with the every aspects of the universe. It uses principles, laws, mathematical calculations, and we are proving all the natural phenomena happening around us. Whatever we do, wherever we go, all the things which are working nowadays are happening just because of the physics behind it. Yeah. Next, branches of physics. We are classifying physics into two major headings, that is your classical physics and modern physics. Classical physics is nothing but the physics physicists which who belong to the period before 20th century. How did they view the nature? They used laws, principles and mathematical calculations to prove the natural phenomena. They proved the mathematical beauty of universe. And modern physics deals with the another version of physics. It is giving us a new idea how can we look at the things, how are they working. It is giving us a new perspective view of physics. I will explain that in clearly in the next slide. So this was the pic which I was searching for a long time. This has a lot of meaning in it, children. So can you see four sections in this picture, children, as classical physics, relativity, quantum physics, and the future? Classical physics, this orange color shaded portions will be explaining you what were the laws, who were all the physicists over that period, and what were their inventions. Relativity and quantum physics are your two major subdivisions of your modern physics. They are just ruling the world nowadays. These concepts of relativity and quantum physics are the present day's inventions of physics. So, classical physics. In classical physics, the major inventions were by two physicists, that is Isaac Newton and James Clerk Maxwell. Newton was the person who found that all the objects in the universe are made up of matter by his law of motion. Law of universal gravitation states that all the objects in the universe are attracted towards a downward pull, that is your gravity. Then optics. Optics, we know the basics of light. Optics is in the sense it is your light. That light travels faster and it does not require any medium to travel through. You know about the lenses. There are two types of lenses, concave and convex lenses. That led to the development of telescope and microscope. Telescope, through telescopes only we are viewing the space, celestial objects and all. And the in light chapter we discussed about lateral inversion, refraction, reflection phenomena. And then electromagnetism. We know what is electricity and we know what magnetism is. When we combine together, it becomes as electromagnetism. That principle was found by the great physicist James Clerk Maxwell. James Clerk Maxwell. So he proved that light waves are electromagnetic in nature. We know what is an electromagnet. That is when you pass electricity through an object and if it is supposed to act as a magnet, that I explained you with an experiment, no children, that when you connect an iron nail to an electric circuit, a simple electric circuit, and you keep the safety pins at the end of the iron nail. When you pass electricity through the circuit, the iron nail, which is wounded with a coil of copper wire, will act as an electromagnet. That is, by the presence of electricity, the object, which is a magnetic material, by passing electricity, behaves as a magnet. It behaves as your electromagnet and it gets attracted to your safety pins. That is what the concept of electromagnetism is. Then the classical mechanics. Mechanics in the sense it is the motion of objects. When I tell it as a matter is of three form: solid, liquid and gases. When I consider only the solid, rigid objects, it is classical mechanism. How do the rigid solid objects are showing a movement? How is their motion is? When I discuss about that, it is your classical mechanics. When I discuss about the motion of liquids and gases, they are also matter. So I have to discuss about their movement and also and analyze them. That is your fluid mechanics. Liquids and gases are commonly called as your fluid because an aeroplane is flying in the air. How is it possible that the aeroplane is moving across all the air components and it is showing us a movement over there? That is, there occurs a friction between the air molecules as well as the surface of your aeroplane. When I study that in detail, it becomes as my fluid mechanism. A boat is moving in the across a river, stream or whatever. It has to push against or the it has to move against the water molecules. There occurs a friction between the water molecules and the surface of the boat. Then that kind of analysis becomes your fluid mechanics. All these concepts are involved in your classical physics. The next thing is your relativity and quantum physics. This is where the great physicist Einstein emerged with his famous equation, that is E is equal to mc squared. This equation is ruling the world nowadays, children. Seriously, if you see the imagination and creativity of that Einstein's brain, you would wonder. Have you all heard about the Hiroshima and Nagasaki disaster, that is the Chernobyl accident? If no, please search it in the net. It shook the world during the World War II. It dropped two atom bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and still now the land over there is still infertile and no other people can live healthy over there. All the people born over there are still with some disabilities. It is because of the impact of the high energy released by the atom bomb. That atom bomb released the energy based on the equation of Einstein's relativity theory. The theory of relativity by Einstein's has made a very large impact on the modern physics. So you know that light has a dual nature. I told you already, I hope so. Light is having a dual nature. Dual in the sense it can act as a both form, that is as a particle as well as a wave. When I consider a light as a particle, I will be dealing it with quantum physics. When I consider light as a wave, I will be dealing it with relativity. Okay, so but in quantum physics people are in quantum physics we are dealing with the atomic theory. You know what is atom, elements, and its energy of an atom, electron, that lead to the development in your technologies such as your computers and lasers. Then Nuclear physics. As I told you, right, the atom bomb explosion in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. These both atoms released a large, enormous amount of energy, leading to a very great disaster. That energy is based on some kind of nuclear reactions, such as nuclear fission and fusion. This is what your modern physics is dealing about. So, what does the in between green color chasm of ignorance mean? It means the lack where the physicists are failing to combine both the relativity and quantum physics, because in quantum physics light is considered as a particle, in relativity light is considered as a wave. When they succeed in combining both the wave and the particle nature of light, that both are the one and the same kind of light, when they succeed in reaching it, they will end up in the future physics. The future physics helps us to solve the mysteries of dark energy and dark matter. But unfortunately, we are still aware of only 5% of physics. Remaining 95% of the universal physics is unknown to us. Let's see. When you start thinking about your physics, the universe, even you may end up in succeeding it. So this was the map of physics, the journey of physics. Where did it start from? Where are we? And where we are moving to? I just wanted to tell you all this journey. So if you feel that this is difficult, I have enclosed a video link. You can watch that also for better understanding. The next slide gives you the branches of classical physics. Classical physics is of so many branches such as mechanics, optics, acoustics, thermodynamics. Mechanics, in the sense, I told you right, it is going to deal with the motion of matter. Matter, in the sense, there are three forms of matter: solid, liquid, and gases. But I am going to deal only about the solids for my consideration. Optics, light; acoustics, sound; thermodynamics, heat. Okay, so in mechanics, again it is classified as statics and dynamics. I'm specifically classifying this based on the solids only. Only for the solid objects, I again classify the mechanics as statics and dynamics. Statics means the object is at rest. Dynamics means motion, the objects are moving. So, again, the statics is classified as motionless and constant velocity. I mean that whenever an object is at rest, it is motionless. Whenever an object, again, they are having some consideration, some exemptions in that cases also, that the objects which are moving in constant velocity also can be considered under statics for future considerations. Dynamics means motion. The objects which are all moving are classified as kinetics and kinematics. So can you understand this here, children? I'll explain you again once again. So mechanics means motion of matter. Specifically for solid objects, I have the classification as statics and dynamics. Statics means objects at rest. Dynamics means objects at motion. So, for an object at rest, it is again classified as motionless and the objects moving with constant velocity. So, whenever there is motion, here in dynamics also motion, whether an object is moving with the constant velocity or varied velocity. Irrespective of that, the object is moving. With that kind of perspective view alone, I am giving another classification as kinetics and kinematics. What is kinetics and what is kinematics? Kinetics means the object is moved by the application of force. So, whenever there is a motion, there should be a force applied to it, or there should be a force disturbing it. Only then I can figure out a motion or movement over there. If there is a book on the table, if I take it from there, only there is movement. Unless or otherwise I am disturbing it, it is under the condition of rest. I am not going to use the word rest hereafter. I will tell it as it is under static position, because statics means rest. If a bus is moving, it is now under the movement. So I will be telling it as dynamics. The bus is dynamic. It is moving. It is showing some kind of movement. So whenever there is a motion, I again classify it as kinetics and kinematics depending upon the force applied. So when motion means there is a displacement. There is some changes in the position of the object. That changes is caused by the force. With respect to the force only, I have the classifications as kinetics and kinematics. In kinetics, let us take this image for reference. Here the person is running. For running, he has some frictional forces applied between his foot and the ground. Only when, because if you want to walk properly, there should be some friction. Friction is there, only you can walk properly. Otherwise, you will slip down and fall. So that frictional force is causing the motion over there. The frictional force is responsible for the motion over there. If I am pushing a desk, some kind of force is applied by my hands on the desk to push it. So a muscular force is applied over there. A muscular force is causing the motion. If I am circling the merry-go-round, if I wanted to circle the merry-go-round, I have to provide some kind of energy and I have to push it. Only then there will be a circular motion. Only then there will be a movement of the merry-go-round. That force applied by me causes the motion of the merry-go-round. Whereas in kinematics, there is also movement. There is also an athlete is running in this picture. But for my kinematics, I will not consider the force. I will just consider the motion caused alone. I will never ever disturb what force or what type of force caused my action. I will never consider that. I will not mind about it. I will just consider the motion caused over there alone for my analysis. Kinetics means the force causing the motion. Kinematics is does not consider the force, doesn't considers the force, it considers. Whereas kinematics considers force, kinetics considers force, kinematics does not consider. Clear, children? So now, did you all get an idea about what kinematics is? We are just going to deal only with the motion caused, not about the reason for the motion.